Yes, I know. It's that time of week again. I've got to sit here for a bit, okay? Now you keep flashing your blue eyes at me. Yes, I know. Yes, silly showy dwelly. Hey? Should we get this show on the road, hey? Yeah, do you reckon we should? Soon we start, soon we finish. Soon we can leave you at be, yeah? Rightio. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Oh, don't eat the poop. Sunday shop do 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 do. Arr. Greetings, greetings, greetings. And welcome on. Howdy, sexy Sammy. And Spexy Tommy. No deglovings going on. I was watching a video this morning where someone discovered what degloving was. They weren't particularly happy about it. It didn't happen to them. They just, yeah. It was a video about men not wearing their wedding rings all the time. And why? It's because we like to keep our fingers intact. So it just stuck in my head, and I thought, a bit clickbaity, that'll do. I mean, I can take a glove off if you like, or I could even show a foot. Not that foot. I wish. If that was a Subway footlong, I wouldn't be working retail. Let's put it that way. So, how are we all? Hope all are well. Excuse me. Hello, replay crew. Before we all turn off. Yeah, probably already turned off anyway. So yes, fairly standard and basic week for me. Didn't really do a huge amount. Work. Pardon me. Water changes. Only a short bike ride this week. Fairly rapid, but only short. Hit 150 miles for the month, which I'm quite happy with. Lost a bit of weight. Well, not really weight, lost a bit of fat. I'm getting smaller, but I'm not losing weight, which is kind of weird. This is the old thunder thighs kicking in now. That's the problem. And the Olympics have started, and GB are already winning medals, which is always good to see. I hate to think that would end up like Eurovision one year. No point. Definitely not something we want. And as usual, it's starting to come in the cycling and the horse mincing. Sorry, dressage. Horse dancing, horse mincing. We all know what I think the best use for horses is. Evening, Quirky. How you doing? Yeah, so all in all, a fairly dull, uneventful week for me, which is my kind of week. Uploaded a little video on a local church, including a particular, which, yeah, I did my research, and pretty much the most interesting thing I found out about it was a rather gruesome execution method, which I won't go into detail here. It's the kind of thing they'll demonetize something for, especially a live stream. We don't want that. Not that I make a huge amount of money off of it, but you know, every penny helps. Yeah, so that was fun. I did watch back the footage from the second church where I saw the shadow figure. I didn't catch it on camera, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I might have the wrong kind of reaction for a paranormal investigator kind of thing. Given most people's reactions to seeing a shadow figure in a churchyard, and given how I reacted, there's a slight difference. You'll see when I put it out in the next couple of weeks. The baby Amicus splendens have vanished. So whether they are just hiding up in the Anubias overgrowth, have bit the bullet or have been munched, I don't know. If they don't show up again by the time the next lot are born, I will remove them and pop them into a shrimp tank where there's plenty of algae and stuff for them to munch on, and nothing that's going to munch on them. I don't mind losing a few teeny tiny baby shrimp if it comes to it, given the amount I've probably put down the sink over the years. Yes, I'm pretty sure I've got a colony in my pond as well, which given I'm in the UK is probably not very common. So yeah, there's not been a huge amount going on around here, and I've not really been watching anything overly interesting on YouTube. Did find a good channel, if people aren't familiar with it, who does history stuff in a relatively short form and entertaining manner. That's the Fat Electrician. He's got a good sense of humour on him, and he tends to cover the less well-known historical aspects. One I saw this week was Hobart's Funnies. Howdy, Linkbot. How you doing? Good to have you here making the numbers up. So yeah, pretty much it for the week. So I hope some people are going to be in and wanting to chat, because I ain't got a huge amount to talk about. I know. First thing that's happened. That way. And yes, this is a very old t-shirt. Found it in the back of the wardrobe this morning. Dates to probably around 2000. So yeah, nearly a quarter century old t-shirt. Evening, Mark. From my habit, always a shadow. Calling Charlie. Hide stuff. Still looking for my cat. Thankfully, my shadow that I call Shadow doesn't hide stuff. Don't give her ideas. She tends to just stomp around upstairs or peek at me around the corner of the stairwell, or just wanders about. Occasionally giggles when I fart or burp loudly, that kind of thing. And the other one, that little dude, he still rubs my legs and has a snooze at night. So it doesn't necessarily take a huge amount of Googling to find out who your spirit may be. Hey, so if they don't mind being called Charlie, keep calling them Charlie. It's easier. I call mine Shadow because she's a shadow. And the one at work is called Samuel, but that's because I did the research and found out there's someone I actually made a video on a couple of years beforehand. Yeah, weird, I know. And that was when the people at work discovered I had a YouTube channel, because they were Googling it as well, trying to figure out who the ghost was. And they found a name, so they were Googling the name, and they found a video about said person. And they were like, I know that voice. I know someone with that voice who keeps fish. And yeah, they figured it out. On me. Thankfully, so far, Reddit hasn't figured out who I am, because that means I can still troll them. When someone starts going on about having loads of plecos and I've got all these plecos and I've got about 8. I'm like, yeah, add a couple of zeros, mate. Well, I bought this little tub of fish food. Will it go out of date before I get to use it all? Because I post a picture of the sack of it. Nah, you're fine. Oh, speaking of which, I did do a dumb. Last time I was in the fish LFS, I bought cherry bars that are in that tank that I've at some point got to take out of quarantine, but haven't got around to it. I bought some food. When I got home, I didn't have the food. Numpty here has gone and left it on the bloody counter, hasn't he? Which is kind of annoying because it wasn't a £2 or £3 little pot. It was a £12 decent sized pot. So it was kind of annoying, but didn't really want to drive or cycle all the way back there. Just go, I think I left my food behind. So you live and learn. We'll do these things occasionally. Greg, how you doing? I see you looking at me. Hope all is well with you and yours. Bloody warm this afternoon. It's got to that point here where it's warm enough that the sun heats everything up during the day. So come the evening, when it actually starts to cool down, like it's cooler outside technically now, but everything that's soaked up the heat starts to let it out. So basically everything becomes a giant storage heater. So it won't be until about 10 o'clock before it does actually start getting cooler. So it will just start getting warmer indoors until then, which is annoying. And next week it's going to get even warmer. Yay. And on days I've got to go to work as well, which at least means I can stay relatively cool at work and be in the air conditioning. I just get my water changes done early because I'm working Monday, Tuesday. Off Thursday, Friday, so I'll probably just go for a couple of shorter bike rides in the morning. Nice and early so I don't cook myself again, because I am actually eating a tan and it's not good. It won't show up on camera, but I am actually going brown. I don't do brown. I do grey, blue, translucent. And the other problem is, of course, I'm wearing a helmet with the shaded visor on, which covers basically that much of my face. So if I get too tan, there's going to be a stripe around. Brown from there down and definitely white from there up. I'll be all two-tone. And the tan on my legs is actually on the back of my legs rather than the front, which is weird. I guess I must be spending more time cycling with the sun behind me than in front of me. Only me. So what's everyone else been up to this week? Come on, someone must have been doing something remotely interesting. Yeah, I've really... I mean, I'd call it a good week where I've not done anything exciting. I've not even researched into anything. I know, weird. I'll probably leave that till maybe Wednesday morning and maybe research another couple of churches that I haven't been to yet. Well, I've been to, I just haven't filmed that. So yeah, do a couple of shorter rides, hit a couple of other churches and start the new month off with a decent chunk of mileage. That sounds a good plan. Well, I do have another week off in August. So what do we reckon the weather's going to be like when I have a week off in August? Is it going to be blazingly, ridiculously hot, or is it going to be piddling down with rain all week? Cool, overcast, and relatively dry is the wish. But chances of that are, yeah, it's not going to happen because summer is here now. We might get the odd cooler day, but I'm guessing fewer and far further between. California is on fire. That's sad to hear, but it's kind of a yearly occurrence, isn't it? I mean, as long as you're safe and your house is safe and everyone you know and whatever is safe, that's the important thing. Show some love by liking this video and subscribe to stay in the loop. I don't think anyone wants to be in my loop. My loop gets very strange at times. Jackass S offender intentionally drove his truck on fire into the woods. Oh joy. It's in the paper. Gold. Hopefully they caught him and just put him back in the fire then. That's probably what I would have done. I mean, it's bad enough when it's someone that's thrown a cigarette butt out of the car window. And it is technically an accident through negligence. But you can still be done for negligent behaviour, I'd guess. He's doing prison time for sure. Good. Hopefully he drops soap repeatedly. Just got been doing 20 years. It might be a case of looking to do a crime that would get him back in prison but wouldn't actually hurt people. Although forest fires aren't actually guaranteed to not hurt people. Could be one of those been in that long, can't cope with being on the outside. You do hear about that happening. It's that, or he was trying to pull an insurance job. Yeah, institutionalized. which just shows that the rehabilitation isn't working. That's the thing with prisons. They've got to be bad enough you don't want to go back, but good enough in other ways that you do get rehabilitated and learn things. So I don't know about US prisons too much, but in UK prisons there are courses you can do to learn a trade and what have you. So when you get out, you can actually get a job. Obviously, certain crimes you're just not going to get another job. There's no one's going to employ you because legally, if you apply for a job, you have to put down any criminal convictions, and depending on the job, you're not going to get a job in retail or and taking it to the bank or whatever if you've been done. If you've been done for anything remotely violent or involving children, you won't get a job working anywhere near children. And generally, anything S related, you ain't going to get a job, full stop. It's a case of, yeah, your choices are join the army or it was having a bit of a buffer, was it? A buffer. Well, you're the only one here, so perhaps something's playing up. I know it's not my end. But as you say, you got forest fires going on, so that might have something to do with it. And I'll probably just upset everyone else and they've all left. Or they've done their bit of coming in, saying hello, and then buggered off again. But yeah, that's. But then all our prisons are state-run, not for profit. They're not run as businesses to make money, which is, to me, how it should be. Same with healthcare, but that's another sore subject. As far as less than 1,000 feet, the wind is blowing the other way. Good. Long may the wind continue to blow the fire that way. I mean, unless, of course, you want an insurance payout. So he was either doing it, in my book, he was either doing it to get back in prison, to burn evidence, or as an insurance fraud, all of which will end you back in jail. So talking like a communist. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not communist. But basically every other democratic country on the planet has government-funded healthcare. And it won't be long before every other country on the planet uses the metric system. So yeah. At some point, America will catch up with the rest of the world. You're a long way behind because bless. You've not been a country for very long. I mean, let's be honest, I've lived in houses that are like 4 times, 5 times older than your country. It's just kind of scary to think about, but it's true. And my foster parents probably had furniture that was older than America. Yes. But then the rest of the world, I've got to admit, is sitting back watching the presidential thing going on at the moment with great interest and generally laughing quite heartily as well. Uh, I think it's a case of be careful what you wish for because you might just get it. In in the case of the Communist Party, sorry, Republican Party, I keep thinking because the rest of the world again, red is left, blue is right. Um, so you should have a blue and a dark blue, really. But yeah, they wanted to get rid of Biden. They got rid of Biden. Now they're going, oh, our entire electoral thing was about attacking the other guy. Now the other guy is a younger, black, intelligent woman. Oh, frick. A bigger stick. Yeah. The American military. Tell me you're insecure without telling me you're insecure. Bigger than the next 25 countries' armed forces combined, 24 of which are allies. Why? Rest of the world, we're just sitting there scratching our head, going, "Why?" We get the need for a decent sized navy because you've got two fairly sizable coastlines to protect. But the only people who can invade you by land are Canada and Mexico, neither of which you are going to do it. So you don't need a massive land army. And as the Avro Vulcan proved way back in the Cold War, the American air defense system sucks whole. Maybe not quite so much now. I think lessons were learned. If you're not familiar with that, it's Operation Sky Shield, which is a training exercise to simulate a Soviet attack. There were hundreds of B-52s and stratojets and 8 Royal Air Force Avro Vulcan bombers, strategic bombers. And virtually all of the B-52s and stratojets were intercepted and shot down. Only one of the Vulcans actually got spotted. First time they did it, the Vulcans carried out their bombing attacks and left. Nobody any the wiser. And their targets were New York, Washington, all the big cities. And then the next year, we were invited back to try it again. Only this time, we're going to have less stratojets and less B-52s so we can concentrate more on the Vulcans. Exactly the same thing happened. Except this time, one of the Vulcans royally took the mickey and it landed at an American Air Force base just outside New York. There's plenty of like reaction videos to Operation Sky Shield or when Britain nuked America twice on YouTube, and they are actually quite amusing to watch. just to see the reaction sometimes. That's one of the things when you're watching a reaction video. If you're familiar with the content, you can actually watch how the person reacts more rather than watching what they're reacting to. But yeah, the Operation Sky Shield, all the basically everything got put on the quiet and classified and heavily redacted, and nothing was said until after the Cold War was over and the Vulcan had left service, which I think was the late 80s or early 90s, something like that. We're talking about a plane that entered service in the 50s. And they're absolutely gorgeous, the Avro Vulcan. I've not been in one, but there's one at a relatively small, very small, really, for an aviation museum just up by Norwich Airport. One of them sat there, and you walk underneath it, and you reach up, and you can't touch it. It's rather large. Can I say Adidas? Yes. Or if you pronounce it correctly, it'd be Adidas. Or Adidas, because it's named after the first two letters of the two German brothers who formed the company. And yes, I'm familiar with it standing for All Day I Dream About Sex. If you're trying to catch me out in the same way that you mispronounce Nike as Nike, because there's no Y on the end of it, Adidas. Yeah, some weirdos call it Adidas. It's almost as bad as hearing Americans pronounce Puma, because that hasn't got a double O in it. Yeah, I knew it way before Korn did the song. Probably heard that first in high school. So if you say Nike, why don't you say Pikey? I know Pikey means something completely different than Pike. What about Run DMC is my Adidas. So I've never been a huge rap fan, so while I know who Run DMC are and I know a couple of their tunes, I'm not a huge fan. It's early rap is better than more recent rap. Generally, everything I've heard in the last however long has been pretty awful. I mean, you know, when you listen to a rap song and you're thinking, damn, Limp Bizkit were better than this. Yeah, I never really got into the whole rap thing. Bit of rap metal, you know, Rage Against the Machine. For my sins, a bit of Kid Rock. Back before he disappeared up his own rectum. I would like your Adidas. I will have to look it up and have a listen later. I'm sure it'll be on the tube of you somewhere. A bit of the Beastie Boys I didn't mind either. Till they lost the guitars and went more sort of dance. So yeah, early Beastie Boys are cool. License to Ill era stuff. That's cool, but just I like my music a bit more complex than rap tends to be, or hip hop, or whatever we're calling it these days. C rap. Um, I'm not denying that rappers can be very talented. It's just not my kind of music. What are you flaring at me for, you dumb creature? Yeah, I know that Mrs. Smushmouth was your mum because you've inherited it. No need to go gaping at me, rapping about what are you doing. Okay, so I'm guessing pretty much everything they do. Most of it probably not legal. I'm guessing they're not talking about popping to the store and getting some eggs, or going to the library and getting some books out, or what was one that Weird Al did? Riding Dirty. He did White and Nerdy. That was good. Weird Al's version was. It was funny and clever. Uh, if you get the jokes. And there was also he did word crimes as well, didn't he, for Blurred Rhymes? Not that that was rap. That was just, we've got a passable tune. How can we make it blow up really big? Well, what we'll do is we'll get some bikini models in the video, and then we'll do an uncensored video where they're not wearing their bikini tops. So you've been watching 90s metal videos, have you? Yeah. Ow. Where the hell did that come from? No. Minor hole in my leg. Yeah, no idea where that came from. Must have banged it against something. Possibly a pedal, actually, looking at the size and the shape of that hole. Yeah, probably is a pedal stud. Yeah, I've got dangerous pedals on my bike. Your feet will never slip off them, but if your feet are off the pedals and they hit you in the leg, they will draw blood, even if they just gently tap you in the leg. They're downhill mountain bike pedals. What more can I say? I'm not using clip-in pedals. I want to be able to get off my bike when I get where I'm going to and like walk around like a normal human being, not like Bambi on ice, unable to bend my feet with my toes higher than my heels. I like to be able to get off the bike and just blend in like everyone else. Hence, another reason not to wear lycra. Not on the outside, anyway. It's definitely not white lycra. Not with the amount of... Yeah, I do know how I identify a hole. My knowledge of holes in the human body is pretty in-depth. Ones that are meant to be there and ones that aren't meant to be there. Unfortunately, I'm pretty used to both of them. No, I haven't actually accidentally stabbed myself or anything lately, so I'm doing quite well there. I did burn the end of my thumb yesterday, but that seems to be okay. There's enough dead skin on the end of my thumb that it doesn't really notice. Howdy, M&C. How you doodling? I also hope you're well, but I hope you're not too bad today. I think we can agree that's probably about the best one I can come up with. Is if I wake up and nothing hurts, I'm like, wow, bonus. If you woke up and nothing hurts, I think you'd be really worried. Oh crap, all my nerves have died. Still on this side of the dirt, exactly. That's the main thing. Main thing is keeping on this side of the dirt for as long as you want to be. Rather than the opposite. Being under the dirt and wanting to still be above it. Yeah, exactly. If you woke up and nothing hurt, you'd think you were dead. Oh, crud, I'm a ghost. Either that or someone tried to overdose you on painkillers in your sleep and it just means they actually worked. Oh, wow, I found the dosage of painkillers that stop things hurting. And the doctors are all going, no, no, that's about 10 times the lethal dose. Yeah, but it works. For about 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, I had a bit of a, yes. It was actually yesterday at work. We had a visit from the area manager. She happened to be coming past, so dropped in to say hi, kind of visit. She was in her civvies, so that was okay. We were talking about exercise and being fitter. Everything from morphine to fentanyl. What works better than them? Probably a mallet to the head is about the only thing that will work better than that for stopping pain. That just cause more pain though when you do wake up. So talking about exercises, she's like, oh, one of these days we might have to go on a bike ride together, and I'm like, I have had a pain in the past, and it sucks hole big time. I've had it in my teeth and in my back. It's not good. At the moment, thankfully, touch wood again, worst I generally had to deal with is some minor arthritic grumbles and sore feet after a day at work wearing steel toe cap safety boots. Fire we've got going on now, 7th largest in California history. No reported deaths so far, so silver lining. Yeah, if no one's died, that's always good. You never know, it might flush a few Bigfoot out. Yeah, so whatever you do, Sam, don't come running out of the woods roaring on fire, because someone will shoot you thinking you're a Sasquatch. Back, legs, hips, yeah. Yeah, it's just like, how do you respond if you're younger and rather attractive female area manager wanting to go on a bike ride with you? I sort of left it open because I'm not sure it's a good idea. But, you know, multiple reasons, because bad idea, being area manager and probably quite unprofessional to do something like that. And B, would she keep up, or would I keep up, or would she suddenly realise how much of a grumpy, miserable bastard I am? And plus, I like to do it just to be out and about and have nothing in my head. It just clears the old noggin out nicely. Yeah, I know you live under my bed, which is why I don't sleep in my bed. Put a stick in her front wheel. I read the slide A and her front, and came to a different conclusion. Yeah, you see, if that happened, I'd have to be all gentlemanly and like fix the problem. I mean, I generally get the feeling, yeah. I mean, she's pretty capable. She could probably fix a puncture. But judging by how she was talking, I don't think 20, 30 miles in a few hours is in her sort of ballpark of cycling distances. I think she's talking like around the block, a couple of miles at walking pace. You're not going to teabag today, you're going to do your abs. Wait, what? Sam likes to do squats, which he calls teabags. Ab work, I would guess sit-ups. So just don't do the sit-ups with your mouth wide open, you'll be okay. Definitely don't do that in prison. It's yeah, I think I'm just going to have to scare her off of wanting to go on a bike ride with me. So where do you go? Well, I'd like to go to haunted and abandoned places that are dark and scary. I know, I know. I'm just trying to keep it remotely PG. Not that I'm renowned for being PG at the best of times. I mean, I do try. I do try to keep swearing to a minimum. Unless something really hacks me off, then I might have a grumble and a swear. But normally, if something's hacked me off, by the time I get around to doing a live stream, it's kind of, I've done the shouty, sweary, angry stage, and I'm now just at the stage. Ooh, ow. Ooh. Ooh. Definitely got swamp butt going on. I think I need to get a chair with some more, like the old camping chair I used to use that had like the mesh at the bottom. So there's a bit of airflow going through the old buttock region. This one's kind of solid fabric and it's a bit sweaty butt time, which is not a good thing. Oh well. Is there anything? Prescription glasses coming in the mail. I think I'm going to get a pair of aviator style. Don't know what style of aviators look the best on my face. I think the place is Zenni, Zenni. It's a website that sells prescription glasses. I think they've got a feature where you can upload a picture of your face and then basically overlay different types of glasses on it to see what suit you best. Yeah, Zenni, that's the one. I think that's how it works, is that you basically upload a picture and then you can virtually try on the glasses. I got lucky in that he went through them. Good. The Professor of Rock, I think, is the one I always see the advert for them on. He's sponsored by them. And if the glasses work out, you're getting the aviators. So I got lucky because the glasses that actually suited me the best in the opticians when I last got a pair of glasses were these. And they happened to be the cheapest frames they had. Because the lady who was helping me choose kept getting all the designer label, designer name ones down, and I'm like, no, that just looks horrible. I don't even need to put it on. I know it's not going to suit me. Oh, these ones are really popular. They look like the NHS glasses I wore back in the 80s. Oh. I've got bad memories of them. I ain't wearing nothing like that. No, I want wireframe. I want a decent size lens. And, you know, I want them adjustable. I want rimless ones, but don't want to look like a Saudi drug dealer. Yeah. And rimless glasses are really fragile. Muy fragile. Because literally all that's holding them together is 4 tiny little rivets at best. And they're good if you're very gentle and delicate, but they won't survive being dropped at all. Definitely not being sat on, because that's what happens to most people's glasses. They either get dropped, knocked off of the nightstand, or get sat on. Especially if someone's new to wearing glasses and doesn't need to wear them all the time. For me, it's easy. I get up in the morning, first thing I do is put my glasses on. Literally, first thing I do when I wake up. No cat's eye glasses. No, definitely not. I have tried contacts in the past, so you could go for the cat's eye look ones and all the weird ones. But yeah, I don't get on with them, and I look really weird without glasses. And people who don't know me probably all wouldn't notice the difference, but to me, yeah, I'm not that I can actually see anything, but I know it looks weird. If the glasses actually put more of a boundary between my face and head. 5 head. Is it 4, 5? Where are we up? No, we're up to 6 head now. I'm worried. Yeah, only it's about time I got new glasses because I've had these since maybe. Very sharp. Yeah, exactly. I think I've had these glasses probably about 10 years now. So I know I need new glasses. I know I need new lenses because I know my prescription is wrong. I'm fine at this kind of range, actually reading my screen at arm's length or a bit further. I'm absolutely fine. It's when the things start getting anything from there closer starts getting blurry if I can't see two of it. And when it gets real close up, it's even looking over the glasses, I can't really focus. So I'm don't know if you've got any astigmatism. I don't think I've got astigmatism. I think I've just got wonky eyesight. I'm just very short-sighted or nearsighted. But as you get older, you naturally get more far-sighted or long-sighted, depending on which version you use. So basically, my glasses are now too strong. I spent up until like my mid-20s getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Well, sort of from 8 till sort of like 18, they just got much stronger every time. And then it started backing off until they basically sat still for a while. It was like, yeah, your prescription hasn't changed. Your prescription hasn't changed. You're like, right, well, it's been 2 years and nothing's changed, so we're good. And then, yeah, I broke my glasses, so I got a new set. And my prescription had changed, but then, and so these are slightly weaker than my older ones, and now they're way too strong. I had hyperphoria when I was a kid, hate the prisms and never wore them. That is always the problem, though, isn't it? When kids have got something like that, an eye issue, a vision problem, it's something that makes you look different or a bit weird, or everything just looks funny through them, so they don't want to wear them. I was kind of the opposite, because as soon as I got my glasses, like, wow, everything's in focus and I can see. So yeah, I was quite happy to wear my glasses, even though all the kids at school started taking the mickey and calling me Four Eyes and Specky and Goggle Box and all the other insults that 8-year-old children can think of. Well, if they call you Four Eyes, just say Four Eyes are better than two. No, just punch them in the face and then they stop. It works a lot quicker. Mikey, prescription wonky, far-sighted in one, near in the other. Oh dear. Yeah, that can get interesting. So without your glasses, there's a point at which you just can't see anything. It's out of focus in one eye and out of focus in the other. I know my left eye is worse than my right eye, but my right eye is slightly lazy. So there's a adjustment built into the lenses which pulls my eye in, because otherwise it'd be looking over there somewhere. And that used to, well, when I first got it, that started giving me a headache. That was purely because of straining the eye muscles, because they're not used to being in that direction. And again, as I got older, that kind of fizzled out. So they're a lot weaker with that regard now. Left eye is 0.25 diopters worse than my right eye, whatever that means. Just means it's slightly different. It means you need a slightly stronger lens on the right hand side than the left hand side. And if your eyes aren't too bad, you wouldn't notice the difference anyway, just looking at them. If I take mine off, I mean, they're pretty manky and minging, but you might just be able to see that the lenses are way thicker than the actual frames. But these are the ultra thin lenses. if they were the normal lenses, they would be like Coke bottle bottoms, like Mr. Magoo glasses, like I had in school, which was horrific. Because you still get the same magnification sort of effect, but it's not as blindingly obvious that you put your glasses on, your eyes get 3 times the size. And if I angle my head right down that side, you can see it, where actually my face is in 2 different places. It sort of like goes in. Looked like the eyebrows came off with the glasses. That's because my eyebrows are mostly white these days, and because I have unibrow or monobrow, I do shave the centre. And because I'm not overly vain, I just get the same hair clippers that I use for my face fuzz and just go take the entire middle out. Dennis, how you doing? You used to wear glasses. Where to get new glasses? Doctor said you got cataracts. Took them out and put new lenses in the eyes. Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. Not a clue who Trailer Park Boys are. I'm guessing they're probably rednecks. Yeah, I mean, if they're fixing the cataracts, then they might as well just put the lenses directly in your eyes. You don't have to wear the glasses then. I mean, so long as your eyes don't change again. Yeah, just read it. So, kind of glasses in the UK that you just buy from supermarket or some news agents or convenience stores will have them. They literally have like there's one of the eye test things on the wall or on the shelf with the letters to read, getting smaller as you go down. You know the ones. You've got the line on the floor, and they say, right, well, if you stand here and read down, when you can't read, and there's like a different colour below each line, there's the line you can't read at, grab a pair of those glasses off the shelf with that colour label on them, put them on and see how you do. If they're still blurry like the next time down, then you go slightly stronger. If they're you go slightly weaker, but yeah, it works. If you get very slight vision impairments, when you get to eyes as bad as mine and you stand there and you go, where's the bit of paper? No, it's like if you've got bad eyes and you go get a haircut, you take your glasses off for the haircut so you can do around your lug holes and you don't end up with your glasses getting full of bits of hair. So you take your glasses off. Now, smart barbers will, you take your glasses off and you have them in your lap underneath the cape when you're getting your hair done. And then they'll pull the cape aside for you so you can put your glasses back on when they do the old mirror. How does this look? Is that okay? Some of them take your glasses and they put them on a shelf somewhere over there where you can't get to them. Do the haircut and they go, and how's that? How's that? Is that okay? Is that okay? And you're going, to be honest, mate, I can't actually see my face in the mirror at all. So you need to give me my glasses. What's a haircut? Yeah, I've not had one of them for years. Used to make the as seen on TV glasses. You could adjust. Oh yeah, I've seen adverts for them again recently. My God, they look horrific and clunky and horrible. It's like you've got screws at either side that you, or thumb screw kind of things that you adjust to get the prescriptions right. I'm like, what? Just get some normal glasses. They ain't that much more expensive. Can't be. Michael Myers is here. Good evening. Bonsoir. Thankfully, there's no lorries about at the moment, so everyone's safe from Michael Myers. Oh my. Yes, I know you're behind, Dennis. Typical Americans, always behind the times. And if any of the Aussies turn up, it'll be morning there as well. But it'll be tomorrow morning. Bonsoir, comment allez-vous? Je suis mais. I know a little bit of French, but I haven't really done it since high school, like 32 years ago. On Zenny, you can get a pair of cheap glasses for less than it would cost you to buy something as seen on TV. Yes, and you know, they're actually the right prescription. I mean, if Zenny was available in the UK, I would go to the optician in town, get my prescription, and then go on Zenny. But unfortunately, Zenny don't ship to the UK, which is kind of annoying. Nice to meet you too. We're an interesting bunch around here. We talk about all sorts of rubbish. You know, it's supposed to be a fish channel, and here we are talking about opticians' appointments, glasses, and all sorts. But yeah, so we cover pretty much any subject. We do try and stay away from religion. Politics will happen occasionally, but just because both of those subjects tend to just cause arguments, and I might not have the most usual views. That's why it stayed. You also wear glasses. Well, welcome aboard, Four Eyes. I think we need to get some T-shirts made up. Four-eyed and proud. I'm only wearing glasses so I don't look as dumb as you. And have it blurry as well. That'd be perfect. That'd go well with my. Greg has picked up a group of Starfire Glow Angels. What do I think about them? Not my cup of tea, purely colour-wise. It's too loud. Morally, ethically, I'm not really sure. I mean, I know that proper glowfish were originally designed for finding or testing for pollutants in rivers and other water courses. And I know it's a genetic splicing thing, so it's not cruel to the animal. Well, it's cruel to probably the first ones. After that, it's just they're just born like it. I don't know. They're illegal over here, so I don't really have to think about it too much. Hello, Debs, me darling. How are you? Yeah, I'm not gonna rant and rave at someone who's got glowfish, but I'm not gonna get them myself. No. I mean, I'd rather you had the glowfish than some rando with a tiny tank and the blackened clown puke gravel with the one plastic plant and the SpongeBob house. You know the tank. I might actually have to set one of them up one day. With the decorations in it that are, or the other one with the decorations that have got fake algae on them. But why the hell do you want fake algae growing on your decorations? Just leave it. It'll get there naturally. Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Greg to have pink gravel. But I'm guessing it's probably not done. It's probably done ironically. It's not done because you think that's what looks best. Like me with the Cookie Monster hiding up there somewhere in amongst all the random offcuts of Anubias. Okay, it was given to me as a Christmas present, so I'm going to put it in a tank. Not in one of the ones I look at a lot. But, you know, it's there ironically. It's not there because I think it looks good. Pardon me. Ooh, salted caramel and energy drink. That's an interesting combination. Oh, and cheesecake aftertaste as well. Ooh, that's not so good. Yes, I'm sure they are absolutely lovely and awesome and wonderful fish. They're just not my taste. Like we all have our different tastes in people, in music. You know, soon I will have pink and black marbles. Well, if you're going to do that, Greg, then you've got to get some glow danios or glow tetras in there. Because then they might actually breed and the eggs survive. If you've got marbles as substrate. There you go. There's your next project. The eyesore tank, where you're actually breeding glowfish. Are you actually allowed to breed glowfish now? There was a thing where they were getting snotty about people breeding them and selling them. Yeah, so I tend to be veering more towards not necessarily boring looking fish, but more understated colours and different things. We can keep them, but we can't because they're illegal in the UK and the EU. So, I mean, there's probably some have made it over here because I think I've seen some. Probably have actually at some point in some random fish store, but they are technically illegal to import to the UK. And Europe. That stems from when we were in Europe. So you won't see UK fish tubers with glowfish in the tanks. A Belgian. Welcome. Enjoy your frites and mayo. I'm not saying I don't know much about Belgium as a country, other than its involvement in various big wars that have rolled through Europe over the centuries. But yeah, frites and mayo and spa. That pretty much, and the mannequin a piece. That's pretty much my knowledge of Belgium. I do apologise. Oh yeah, I mean, not frites, because we do no chunky fat chips over here in the UK, chip shop chips. But yeah, I'll have mayonnaise on them every time. Well, not every time. Sometimes I have gravy, and if I've run out, oh dear, oh, 2 weeks off on the chest X-ray. But yeah, if I run out of mayo, then I'll have ketchup. But yeah, it's usually either mayo or gravy on them with salt and vinegar. Yeah, it's if you've not tried fries with mayo, try it. Trust me. Fries or chips. If you've not done it, trust me on this. In Idaho, every restaurant has McDonald's fry sauce, which, yeah, it's what we call cheap prawn cocktail sauce. I see it culture. I do have some culture. I'm not a massive amount. Now, I'm not going to start quoting Proust at you, but yeah, we know Idaho is obsessed with potatoes. There's, I mean, even over here in the shops, where you, I mean, not that I do buy it, but you can buy instant mashed potato, which is vile. But there's the classic English brand of Smash, which used to be advertised by the robots. Or mash get smashed. But there's also Idahoan buttery potatoes, which is basically exactly the same thing, just potato powder with a bit of, I'm guessing, butter powder in it. Yeah, instant mash. Yeah, that's about the best use from thickening sauces. Yeah, half and half is homemade cocktail sauce. Yeah, yeah. It's the cheats version of Mary Rose sauce, which is what you'd have traditionally on a prawn cocktail. And I'm pretty sure prawn cocktail crisps don't exist in any other country than the UK, or chips, crisps. But it's the one flavour of crisps that tastes nothing like what it's meant to taste like. They don't taste anything like prawns or Mary Rose sauce. Yeah, exactly. They're vile, aren't they, Deb? I mean, skips, because they're very mildly flavoured, skips are okay because they kind of melt in your mouth and just disintegrate into nothing. They're a brand of crisp. But yeah, they're bloody horrible. And this from a country that has also done Brussels sprout flavoured crisps, and I'd take the Brussels sprout flavour over the prawn cocktail. Just people who don't have a fully dressed chip in. Yeah. Although, if you find somewhere that does chips or fries or frites that have still got the skin on them, they're awesome. Had them a lot of times in the UK. It's like a cheap brand of Chinese prawn chips. Yeah, prawn crackers are actually nicer because they're actually made with prawns. But yeah, they're just horrible. For some reason, people love them though. I mean, I admit I've got a weird sense of taste due to the no sense of smell thing. But, in prison, they have a potato chip called the whole shebang. Is legendary. Only sold in prison. What is it? Are they the ones that when they get to the end of one production run and start the next production run, they've got a bit of flavouring from each kind of chip? So they just send them to the prisons. The best ones are either real McCoys, if you can find them and you don't see them very often anymore, Brannigan's. Brannigan's crisps are the best. followed by Seabrooks. These Brannigan's crisps are thicker, but not overcooked like a lot of crisps are, or chips. So they're still kind of soft. They're not like eating Doritos, which are bloody horrible. They just had some awesome flavors: roast ham and mustard, roast beef and horseradish, lamb and mint. Can't eat chips anymore, missing a lot of the necessary components to chew them with, like teeth. Yeah, I know that feeling. I mean, I've got most of my teeth, but my teeth and crunchy solid foods don't do very well together anymore. And I'd rather not be picking more lumps of tooth out of my dinner, or have them go through the other end, because that's even less comfortable. Yes. I actually broke tooth eating a cheese sandwich at one point. Well, I think that already had a crack in it. Yeah, it did. There was already a crack in it from when someone hit me in the face. And now that tooth is little more than a tiny little, yeah, it's basically a tiny little stub. Doesn't hurt at all, though. The nerve's been dead in it for years. Should we look at some fishies? Do you reckon? Not there's a huge amount going on. I have cleaned some glass, so let's do some fish looks. We got Shellies are doing Shelly things. Friendly little cichlids. Yeah, how many cichlids can you keep in one tank? There's about a dozen of them in there. Ooh. Oh, little Bert and the Limia swarm. Anyone else out and about? No, just thousands of Limia again. But everyone else is hiding. I know exactly where they'll be. I mean, all the corals will be over in the back corner down by the box filter. Oh, Bertie's there in her log. Spotty will be somewhere down there, probably under his log. Random shrimpy tank. Any of the amicas about? Oh, yeah, there's one of the amica splendens. Oh, there's a couple of them. Then you know, the other ones that are over there. And yeah, Bristlenose Central again. Bristlenose is Snail Central. Super Red Bristlenose and Snail Central. Bristlenose is. Where are you? Trio of cherry bulbs are in quarantine. Then more bristlenoses, but having a bit of a wrong way. Bit of a bacterial bloom going on at the moment in there, because I had to thoroughly degunk both of the filters this week. When you got 100 plus bristlenoses in there, you know, the filters do get very gunked up quite quickly. And in this case, they got gunked up to the point they stopped working. So it's a case of dig all the bacterial colonies out of them that are filling up the impeller ears, and the water flows through, so the water will actually flow through again. So it's just a bacterial bloom going on. Nothing to panic about. You just leave it and it sorts itself out. Because do a water change. Well, yeah, but then you're taking out half of the bacteria in there. I mean, I will do a water change tomorrow because it's water change day, but it's just the way of things. The longer you leave a bacterial bloom, the sooner it sorts itself out. Just as long as you're sure it's a bacterial bloom and not an ammonia spike. The general clue is if the water turns milky and the fish still appear to be happy and healthy, it's probably an algae bloom or a bacterial bloom rather than an ammonia spike. If it's ammonia, you'll find all the fish gasping at the surface. All the snails will come up to the top of the tank, gasping for air. And you go, oh, I better do a water change and clean the filters out, which is actually what was starting to happen last week. Which is why I did give them a thorough degunk. How the heck have I already drank my entire can of Relentless? We're going to be back to swigging cola out the bottle again, I think. So yeah, we've done eyesight, we've done crisps. What's next? Yeah, we cover all sorts of weirdness in here. Not had any spooky experiences this week. Pippa's been a good girl. Apart from yesterday morning, Pippa was being an absolute pain in the hole. Pippa being the neighbour's dog that I walk in the mornings. Well, neighbour went out and did to do his shopping relatively early. What was that, baby? No, just a bit of muck. Or is it? It might be a baby. Yeah, so he went out to do the shopping. He was out for about an hour and a half. And it was around about the time I normally have a nap on a Saturday morning before I go to work. And the bloody dog would not shut up. She literally barked for an hour and a half until he got home. And I was like, no, I'm not going to, because if I go around there, you're going to get all excited and you're going to think you're going for a walk. And then he's going to bark even louder when I leave. So, yeah, she does that. Basically, as soon as he leaves, she thinks I'm going to come out and take her for a walk. Which I don't do every day. And I do it whenever he's at work. Yeah, it's bloody dogs. I'll stick with fish. They're a lot less hassle. You just do a water change once a week and chuck a bit of food in every day, and they just do, and they make more fish. Then you sell the fish and you pay your electric bill and your water bill. Although I would like a rabbit. Rabbits are awesome. And there's still that thing in the back of my mind about like geckos or something and trying to breed them, but that's rather a lot of money to buy a pair of geckos in an enclosure and then try and figure out and hope you got a male and a female and hope that they breed, and then figure out how to keep the babies alive. So, and again, given the lack of a sense of smell, I've got a funny feeling that a gecko enclosure might start to honk a bit after a while. And also, I'm not sure if I'm scared of them or not. And it's usually not a good idea to have a pet that you're scared of. I know you're going, Sharpe, you're not scared of ghosts and shadow figures and stuff like that at all. Why the hell would you be scared of a tiny little gecko? I don't know. Weirder things have happened. Yeah. Kind of paranormally stuff where people tend to freak out and be like, "Oh, I'm scared, I'm frightened, oh, run away, swear, swear, swear." I'm like, "Oh, hello. Yes, I know you're there. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mean you any harm. I'm just chilling." It sounds like we're going to do his ab workout or let the dog out for a poop. One or the other. Or he's gone to the pharmacy to collect some medication. So, but when it comes to food, I do have some very strange tastes. It wasn't related, I promise. Oh, bless you. I know you too well, don't I? Just trying to think what I've got for tea tonight. I've either got beef ravioli, macaroni cheese, or chicken noodle soup. And obviously several slices of buttered bread as well. Yes, I'll have bread with ravioli or macaroni cheese. Generally, can of ravioli or macaroni cheese, 4 slices of buttered bread with some cheese on it, and then basically turn it into sandwiches. That way, it fills me up for more than 5 minutes. Yes, and it's Lidl's macaroni cheese as well, so it's actually cheesy. Although I do add extra cheese and some English mustard and salt. Uh, Generally, if a food is a kind of yellowish color, whitish yellowish color, that just means as long as it's not a dessert, because you wouldn't want to add a mustard to custard, for example. But yeah, something like mac and cheese, yeah, dab of mustard in there goes a long way. Nice big spoonful of Coleman's mustard, which, unlike a video I watched this week where, again, an American was trying English mustard. Coleman's does not come from Norwich, it comes from Norwich. Oh dear. Or Norwich if you are kind of local, or Norwich if you're really local. One of these days I will get around to that video on the Norfolk dialect. Not fancy enough for Grey Poupon, according to the commercials. Fancy enough for whatever the hell you like. You want to try something? Try it. Even if you only try it once and go, nah, not a fan. I'll eat most things once. There's not a lot I'll go, ugh, don't like that, because I can't smell it. And I don't eat with my eyes, so I'm not really worried about what it looks like on a plate. I mean, things I would say no to is anything with banana, anything with big chunks of tomato, fruit, Yeah, or, or jello. Don't do any of them. Yeah, something Indian or Asian or South American or African, yeah, I'll give it a go. What's the worst that can happen? I don't like it, then I know not to have it again. Simple as that. Christ, I've had a shaved head before. That's why I know that doesn't look good. Plus, you get a cold head. And yeah, it might be better this time of the year. Mind you, this time of year when it's hot with long hair, it actually wicks the sweat off your head. It runs it down your back when it's tied back like this, anyway, which is quite helpful when you're cycling and your head gets hot and sweaty. And then you take a break and because you're going to have a ciggy and a swiggy, and maybe a munch. It's a bit of a cool off for 10 minutes or so. And you take your helmet off, and then you put your helmet back on, and it's all cold, lovely and cold and sweaty. It's actually good this time of year. Not so much fun in the winter when it's cold and horrible, and you take your helmet off, and your head's wet, and the helmet's soggy, and everything is really cold. And then you get brain freeze when you're cycling along. Oh, pardon me. Oh, at least that weren't wet. Did a lovely wet one earlier. Even Mary was like, I think you might need to trial wipe that one. I think I'm okay. Doesn't feel too wet down there. Yes, I know. I know you're grumpy. You're always grumpy. Because you're always having territorial disputes about whose bit of sand should go where. One of you thinks the bit of sand should go one place, and one of you thinks it should be another. Weird fish. So we're at that point where I've really run out of stuff to rattle on about. So anyone's got any questions or comments or stuff they want to talk about, stick it in the comments while I go and drain the vein. I'll be back in a moment and we'll carry on. Oof. Ow. Drink ready. Right. Q&As or comments to make, so I'll have to think of something to waffle about for another 20 minutes then. What to waffle about? I haven't waffled about for a while. I'm drawing a blank here. Might have to cut things short today then. I've not got any ideas of things to talk about. I have a new animal friend. I say friend. I've got a hedgehog. Had bangers the other night. You had sausages. Good, good, good. Did you have them with mashed potato and gravy? Proper onion gravy. Not that weird white sauce thing that you guys have. Gravy is brown. Always. I haven't actually got any bangers in the fridge at the moment. Otherwise, sausage butties would have been a good idea for tonight. And yes, there is a difference between a sausage butty and a hot dog. Bangers, mash and gravy. Yeah, they weren't instant, but yeah. Can't really get a much more English meal than bangers, mash and gravy, or British meal, I should say. Yeah, I'm aware how confusing the concepts of Britain, Great Britain, England, the UK, all that stuff is non-natives. We get it wrong many a time as well. Let me get this right. Britain, or Great Britain, is England, Wales and Scotland. Then you have obviously the different countries: England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, the Isle of Man and the Channel Islands. Howdy Keith, how you doing? Welcome. And the UK, or the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. How much sugar is in that Coke? Not a lot, actually. 12 grams per glass. 12 grams per 250 ml. I drink one of these a day. Some lovely roast, all the trimmings and proper gravy. Northern Ireland, yes. Well, can't beat a good Sunday roast, especially if you don't have to cook it and do the washing up. Northern Ireland, yes. And if you're not familiar with the Troubles, as it's known in the UK, that's another good one to research. Yeah. And the Troubles is the reason why the UK doesn't freak out quite as much to terrorist attacks as other countries, because we're used to it. I grew up with the IRA, Irish Republican Army, setting off car bombs not too far from where I lived when I was little. It was an interesting time. So basically, if you saw an abandoned car, it got reported to the police, because chances are it was going to go bang. Speaking of which, there was a car up the road today from me, yesterday, that was all clamped up and had the notice tickets in the window because it wasn't taxed. And they hadn't paid their road tax, so therefore it can't be on the road. and it was parked on the road, which is therefore illegal. Yeah, we used to terrorism because Brisbane heated for a long, long time. True. They were the best of times, they were the worst of times. Oh, Danny boy, they were the best and worst of times. How you doing, Dan? Hope all is good with you, Mrs. DKF and the Fry. Fist bumps to the Fry, hugs to Mrs. DKF, and commiserations. Hope you've been wearing a hat if it's been hot and sunny where you are. Because, you know, we don't want you getting sunburn on your head again. I might have to start wearing a bandana under my bike helmet if I start losing much more hair. Because otherwise I'm going to get the weird pattern that people get. If you're unaware, if you're wearing a cycle helmet in bright sunlight for a lot of time, cycle helmets have vents in them, strategically placed weird shaped vents. Actually got sun, just about to chase the human fry out of the pool and into their beds. Just dry them off first, okay? But yeah, so the helmet's got all the interesting vents in to keep your head a bit cooler so it doesn't get quite so hot and sweaty in there. Now, if you've got a bald or a shaved head and you spend a lot of time out in the sun on your bike and you've got your helmet on, you end up with the tan pattern all over your head from where the vents are that the light gets through. Ears and crown incredibly red. Wouldn't be British, would it? There's a bit of sunlight and you don't turn lobster red, you're not Britishing properly. It's just, I mean, even I've started to get a tan down, so you know it's bad. I've actually got a tan line on my wrist that's just about visible where I wear my watch. So I'm going to have to either stay out of the sun for a bit, I think, because I'm starting to lose my coloration. Yeah, so it's what's the video called? I can't think of the name of the video, but there's a video of every country that England has invaded. Yeah, almost 8. Yes, it is 12 minutes to 8 according to my computer, so probably about 10 to 8. Bless her, old HMS crap top is getting a bit old and worn out and getting rather slow and going to be bricked fairly shortly, so I'm going to have to get a new one. Pardon me. So a second bike is on hold while I get that sorted. And then 8 put like that is 8 a.m. 8 at night, 8 in the evening is 20:00. We still say 8 p.m., but we write it as 20 o'clock, as it were, because we use military time. Because it saves confusion. And it's not one of those where we have to sit there and work it out. Like, what is it? What time? No, we just know it. Oh, bless. Had cuddles with Romy. Oh, I bet that's made you the happiest granny on the planet. Oh, I hate saying that. Granny, grandma, grandmother. What's your preferred reference in that case? With a bit of sun here, everyone went straight out to catch it before it. Oh, there it went. Yeah, well, that is summer in Scotland, isn't it? It's a Tuesday afternoon, or in this case, a Sunday afternoon. But thankfully we're at the time of the year where it starts getting darker earlier and starts getting lighter later. So things do get a chance to cool off a bit overnight. Quite like grandma, but your nanny. Nanny's nice and easy to say for little ones. There was one I saw where didn't want to be called granny, grandma, nanny. So she decided she wanted to be called the Queen Mother. I know. What? So she wanted her grandchildren to call her Queen Mother. Until it was pointed out to her that children tend to struggle with the Q and pronounce it as a W. So she was going for a few years as Ween or Weenie. Still here, been driving, listening, cleaning up and prepping for new painting adventures, which is in the summer, 28th of July. Well, yeah, you've got to make sure things are clean for the new painting adventures, because otherwise you get the old paint on the new painting and then it don't work. Yes. Dan being Tommy's favourite, his favouriteest YouTuber. And how the farterwella's doing, Dan? It's one of those fishies that I've been thinking about getting some fartywella catfish. They look, from what I've seen, that they'd get on well with most things and not cause trouble. And they're pretty cool as well. It's just making sure you get fartywellas and not accidentally get Pictus or something like that that's going to grow to 3 feet long. Sammy, my almost hetero life mate. Oh dear. Can you imagine what happened if us, like Twiggy Otter Sinkless? Yeah, that's probably the best one I've heard them described, actually. Like someone crossed the Otto Sinkless with a pleco and a red lizard whiptail or a lizard whiptail kind of thing. Could you imagine it? Have I seen the new Deadpool? No, it's not out on Blu-ray or DVD yet. Imagine it. A dude's camping holiday, right? Me, Tommy, Sam, and Dan. That would be carnage. That would be absolute. I mean, it'd be hilarious. There would need to be changes of underwear due to wetting yourself laughing, but it would be carnage. Can you believe that thing that happened at the end? Cleaned up an entire dumpster's worth of trash off of the Earth's surface today, merely to be placed out of sight in another area of the Earth's surface. Well, you're welcome, Debs, but you know, and I'm sure you could cope with us, because we probably need someone to tell us to behave and calm down. We would need a mother figure there, I think, just to, so we didn't devolve completely into 13-year-old boys. Yeah. Deb's there for before the crescendo. I'm guessing it's probably on the Under Trois movies. Everything else seems to be. Yeah, I've not got around to it. And given the amount of dross that's been coming out of Hollywood lately, the last 20 years, worst thing I could get busted for than not promoting Hollywood. Yeah, they definitely don't need promoting. Demoting, perhaps. You do realise you're not the best filmmakers on the planet. You do realise you don't produce the best content. You do realise that other people actually have original ideas and don't just remake the same thing again and again and again. It'd be like if your favourite band just kept releasing remastered and reimagined versions of the same album. Oh, hang on, that's Linkin Park. It's extremely subpar bias in films, yes. I mean, there was talk about there being a Games Workshop Warhammer 40k movie. Hollywood is dark, but yeah, it's the seedy underbelly of everything. I mean, if Florida is America's Wang, then Hollywood is its ring piece. You know, Tommy, I'm used to reading weird. I can make it turn into English at some point. You know, Maynard James Keenan was right when he said to flush it all away. Yeah, so there was talk of a Warhammer 40,000 movie, and the talks were going along. And apparently, from what I hear, it was like, yeah. So who are the identifiable good guys, and who are the bad guys? And they're like, well, there are no good guys. What do you mean? You got the Imperium of Man, no, the humans. Oh, so they're the good guys? No. No, that's the biggest fascist dictatorship you've ever seen. The opening ceremony of the Olympics was demonic from what I've seen and heard. I've not seen and heard anything about it, but you know, I'm all up for demonic stuff. Be better than some of the weird things that they've had at Olympic opening ceremonies. I mean, it's France, so I just imagine some people in stripy shirts, onions around their neck, beret, riding a bike with a basket with baguettes on the front, smoking a Gauloise. That would have been a perfectly French opening ceremony. And you finish that off with someone getting guillotined, which then lights the flame. Does that sound good? Does that sound entertaining enough? Made a mistake of watching the Independence Day remake, so I've scrub that one out. Bleach and vinegar mixed with baking soda could get rid of that image. With another weirdo who says the whole world is demonic, so I'm a recluse and do homeschooling. Yeah, that's probably why I don't encounter the demons. They're all scared of me. No, you're too dark, mate. We're scared. As I made a joke the other day, it's like other people, but it's dark and scary and cold and spiky and full of hideous eldritch monsters. Welcome to my safe space. Yes. Got to go pour the human fry out with the pool. That's it. Just tip the pool up, let them all fall out. And they'll get covered in muck off the grass, and then you have to wash them before you put them in bed. I don't believe in ghosts, but I do believe in demons. It's like we've all got our own beliefs. And things out of it. Yeah, I was like, well, I call them ghosts. We call them ghosts, spirits, whatever. We don't know what they are. Yeah, ghost is an easy label to use, and it's understood by everyone. I do prefer paranormal or supernatural. But, yeah, ghost is easy to say. Everyone knows what you mean. It's like shadow figure. Everyone instantly thinks, oh, bad, nasty, scary. No. No. Yeah, we can agree to disagree on that because we're both grown adults and we're both semi-intelligent at least, so we can have a discussion, a back and forth, and then okay, I see your point of view. It's not what I think, but you're welcome to your views, and I'm not going to rip on you for them. It's called being an adult. Why can't politicians just do that? Anyway, my time is up. Time for me to get something to eat. We all believe in the same thing. It would make for the most boring conversations ever in the history of communication. So, blah, blah, I agree. Yeah, it would be tedious. Anyway, thanks everyone for being here, sticking around. Replay crew, if you've made it this far, you deserve a bloody medal. Have a good week, everyone. Stay safe. Might be another fishy video this week. We shall see how I feel. Peace out. Enjoy your hobbies. Have fun. Rock on. Bye-bye. Love you too. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck.